You're the doctor, aren't you?
No. I'm a professor.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for small details in film production design and mise en scène that were actually major hints about the future. Viewer beware, there are spoilers ahead.
Bulletproof vest! Great flick! Great friggin' flick!
Number 10. The number 82, Magnolia. Paul Thomas Anderson is one of the most well-regarded directors in Hollywood.
You will not control me. No! You will not take my soul.
Films like There Will Be Blood and The Master are award-winning masterpieces. In one of his earlier features, Magnolia, Anderson uses the motif of the number 82 as an extremely subtle foreshadowing tool. It shows up again and again as graffiti, painted on an airplane and on an apartment door.
The neighbors heard, as they usually did, the arguing of the tenants.
One audience member of the talk show in the film holds a sign that reads Exodus 8 verse 2, making the reference explicitly. The Bible passage describes the plague of frogs that God unleashes on Egypt. At the end of Magnolia, several of the characters witness a rain of frogs. Number 9. The Bar Names, The World's End. Filmmaker Edgar Wright is well known for his liberal use of foreshadowing. He loves throwaway lines of dialogue that ultimately tell the whole story before it happens. In The World's End, Wright was a little more subtle. Simon Pegg's character persuades his erstwhile high school friends to recreate a pub crawl that was the peak of his high school career.
Leave a light on, good lady, for though we may return with a twinkle in our eyes, we will in truth be blind. Drunk.
Unfortunately, the crawl begins in the middle of an alien apocalypse where humans are replaced with robots. The name of each bar in the crawl foreshadows the events that will occur there. At the Two-Headed Dog, for example, the crew fights twin robots.
Did you believe him?
They come across sirens at the Mermaid. They finish at the World's End, where the world literally comes to an end.
Well done!
Thanks a bunch.
Had to go and spoil it, didn't you?
Yeah, happy now?
Number 8. Newspaper clippings. I Am Legend. I Am Legend is part action flick, part psychological thriller, and part tragic drama.
No. Eat your vegetables. Don't just push them around. Eat them. I'm not playing.
Will Smith stars as the apparent last man on Earth, a survivor of a viral apocalypse. Humans not killed are turned into vampire and zombie-like creatures that haunt the night and the shadows. Smith's Robert Neville survives with help from his German Shepherd and by following strict rules. At one point in the film, while rummaging through a store, Neville stands next to a newspaper headline, "Infected dogs can come out at dusk." Had he paid more attention, he may have avoided an attack by a pack of infected dogs. His own companion, Sam, saves Neville's life but gets infected herself. Number 7. The Chalkboard, Hereditary. Ari Aster's Hereditary is a horror flick filled to the brim with shocking twists.
My mom was old, and she wasn't altogether there at the end. And we were pretty much estranged before that, so it really wasn't a huge blow.
Toni Collette stars as Annie, an artist who joins a bereavement group to mourn her mother, and then later, her daughter. She befriends Joan, another supposed mourner.
Oh, God, I feel very silly. I'm Joan. Hi.
In truth, Joan is part of a cult, trying to lure in Annie and her family. The paranormal road begins when Joan persuades Annie to join her in a seance meant to reach Joan's dead grandson. She uses her grandson's old chalkboard as a medium to connect with him. However, sharp-eyed audience members will notice that, in the scene before the seance, Joan has a brand new chalkboard in her car.
I met a spiritual medium. They were performing an open seance.
It's a subtle hint that the seance is a ruse and a scam. Number 6. The Tie and the Teddy Bear, The Shining. Stanley Kubrick was a master of visual language, and he used it to great effect in The Shining.
Who's Tony?
Tony's a little boy that loves my mouth.
The film is a masterpiece, and Kubrick uses very tiny details to foreshadow deaths later in the movie. Early on, while wandering in the Overlook Hotel, Jack Torrance comes upon his son's tricycle and teddy bear lying on the floor. The bear is laid out in the same spot where Jack kills Halloran later.
Danny! Danny boy!
Likewise, at the beginning of the movie, Jack is in an interview for the job of the caretaker at the Overlook.
Well, this ought to be quite a change for you. Well, I'm looking for a change.
He's wearing a green textured tie that closely resembles the hedge maze, where he later freezes to death. Number 5. Tom Riddle's Rock Collection, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Fans of the Harry Potter series will remember book and film number 6, The Half-Blood Prince. Harry works with Dumbledore, plumbing the depths of collected memories to gain intel on Voldemort.
I must admit to some confusion upon receiving your letter, Mr. Dumbledore. In all the years Tom's been here, he's never once had a family visitor.
Harry learns a great deal about his nemesis. During the first of these flashback memories, Harry witnesses Dumbledore meeting Voldemort for the first time, when he is a young boy named Tom Riddle. Tom is a resident at an orphanage, whose darkness puts him at odds with the other orphans.
I can make animals do what I want without training them. I can make bad things happen to people who are mean to me.
Tom is a collector who steals items from the other children. Shrewd-eyed viewers will have noticed a collection of rocks on the windowsill. There are 7 of them, reflecting the 7 Horcruxes that Harry must destroy.
Do you mean to say he succeeded, sir, in making a Horcrux?
Oh yes, he succeeded, all right.
Number 4 hints that Mr. Orange is the rat, Reservoir Dogs. Director Quentin Tarantino burst onto the scene in 1992 as Hollywood's latest enfant terrible with his crime caper, Reservoir Dogs. In the film, a jewelry heist goes awry in part because one of the assembled crew is an undercover cop.
You shoot me in a dream, you better wake up and apologize.
Before Tim Roth's Mr. Orange confesses, there are a few subtle visual hints. White, pink, and orange arrive at a warehouse after the robbery gone wrong.
How did you get out?
I shot my way out.
Behind them is a table with pink, white, and orange bottles. The orange ones are separate, hinting that one of these men is not like the others. In another scene, Eddie, the man who helped set up the score, talks on the phone about the rat when an orange balloon floats behind his car.
Hey Doc, we got a major situation here.
Number 3, A Fistful of Dollars saves Marty's life. Back to the Future Part 2 and Back to the Future Part 3. Pre-planned sequels present an excellent opportunity to plant seeds in one movie that bloom in the next. That's exactly what Robert Zemeckis did with Back to the Future Parts 2 and 3.
Nobody calls me Mad Dog. Especially not some duded up, egg-sucking gutter trash.
In the third film, Marty travels back to the Old West and gets tangled up with Biff's ancestor. Going by Clint Eastwood, Marty is roped into a gun duel to save Doc's life.
I thought we could settle this like men.
You thought wrong, dude.
Unfortunately for Buford, Marty is protected by a piece of metal plating under his poncho. Careful viewers will realize that Marty gets the idea in Back to the Future Part 2. When he confronts Biff in an alternate 1985, his evil stepfather is watching A Fistful of Dollars. In that film, the real Clint Eastwood pulls off the same trick. Number 2, Stuffed Birds, Psycho. 3 years before The Birds, director Alfred Hitchcock filled his film Psycho with bird-related symbolism. Marion's last name is Crane. Norman's last name, Bates, is a verb referring to a hawk beating its wings in an attempt to leave the nest.
My mother, what is the phrase? She isn't quite herself today.
His home is filled with stuffed birds, from songbirds to raptors, dead animals displayed in a facsimile of life.
You eat like a bird.
You know, of course.
At one point, Norman even claims that his mother is, quote, as harmless as one of those stuffed birds. This couldn't be any more true when we learn that Norman had murdered his mother years ago and placed her mummified corpse in a room like one of his avian trophies. In fact, she's so harmless, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Oranges Mean Death, The Godfather. The use of foreshadowing in The Godfather has inspired filmmakers for over half a century.
Give this to Clemenza. I want reliable people that aren't going to be carried away.
The presence of oranges in a scene means that someone is going to die. Vito Corleone is shopping for oranges when he is shot in the street. He's also eating an orange when he dies in the garden with his grandson. The sequels carry on the tradition, and tributes to The Godfather orange can be seen in shows like Mad Men, The Sopranos, and The Wire. Martin Scorsese did something similar in his film The Departed. As an homage to the original Scarface, there's an X in the frame near a character who is about to die.
Okay.
Did we fail to foresee any entries that should be on this list? Let us know in the comments below.
Your future is whatever you make it, so make it a good one.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.